going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viall Files, joined by my trusty producer, Rochelle.
Hello.
How you doing?
You were great on Lights Out with David Spade. I just watched that.
Was not, but thank you for being nice.
Why do you say that?
I didn't think it was that great. Some of the critics were particularly harsh.
What did David Spade say?
I think
he said he tried ...
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like David even thought it was terrible.
Well, okay. So can you tell people what the premise is if they didn't see it?
The premise is David and a guest usually will come up with some jokes, usually kind of based off of your character. My character being I was on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And then you walk into a room and the audience doesn't know that you are in fact being fed jokes by David and his guest. My guest being Courtney Cox.
So fun.
David's guest. That was very cool. And then you have you have two earpieces in your ear, and they're both supposed to work.
Yeah.
And they feed you jokes, and then they feed you the setup, and then you say the setup, and then they feed you the punchline.
Yeah. That's so hard.
Well, one earpiece didn't work.
Which
one?
I
had one working earpiece.
So it was hard to hear.
Left or right, I don't know. And then the crowd was all dudes. Like you walked in, you're like, none of these guys watched The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And it was just all Bachelor jokes.
Yeah.
But
in the right audience.
It was still a lot of fun, and I appreciate them having me. And
I think it's cool you did it. That's a scary thing to do.
Probably not my calling.
No, that's not what it's. That's like obviously they put you in a very precarious position because it's funny to see, someone fail. You know what I mean? I don't think that you failed. I thought you were really funny.
Glad I could have made that happen.
No, I thought you were really funny.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I do appreciate David having me. And you guys should check out his show, Lights Out. It's a lot of fun. We have a great episode today. Yeah. Meghan King Edmonds joins us. She's been all over the news.
Yeah, she has.
Did I not say Edmonds right?
I think you said Edmund.
Yeah, well, whatever. He's gone.
He's gone. But we met her at the podcast.
We met her at the podcast awards, and we're like, Meghan, come on our podcast. She has a new podcast that is out, but she's a lot of fun. I didn't know much about her. I certainly recognized her. I certainly had heard of her. I don't watch Real Housewives, but obviously she's been in the news a lot when it comes to obviously her divorce, and she's been very honest and open about it, and I think a breath of fresh air to a lot of her fans. And she was kind enough to join us and talk with us a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a Real Housewives of Orange County fan, so I was extremely excited to meet her.
Was very excited, and she, it's just a lot of fun, and she's on this new journey of her life, and which can be scary and tumultuous.
Wow.
Anyways, sometimes not fun for people, and we thought a lot of people might be able to relate. Trying to start a new chapter in your life. Yeah. And Meghan was kind enough to join us.
Yeah. So before she left, she was like, there's a celebrity psychic that read your aura, and she read my aura, and then she read it out loud to us.
When I met Meghan, she told me she has a friend who's a celebrity psychic who reads auras.
Michaela.
I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to psychics
and
aura readings. Apparently you can have a color.
Yeah.
And you're able to, certain people, her psychic friend is able to sense these colors and give people readings without even necessarily having to have met them.
Yeah.
Sounds fishy to me. I'm a bit of a skeptic, but she just sent the reading that her friend gave to myself and Vanessa right after we broke up.
I thought,
and Meghan shared it with us. It was interesting.
I'm going to just read it really quick because I feel like you guys will like it. But this is what she wrote. I'm not surprised to hear that Nick and Vanessa broke up. With Nick's green and purple aura, he's extremely complicated and has a hard time settling in life. Vanessa, being indigo and purple,
judged,
is able to see and perceive any slight changes in the atmosphere of the emotional relationship. Nick is highly intelligent and constantly needs to be poked and prodded in a relationship in order to continue to maintain its chemistry. When Nick isn't feeling challenged, he can put a wall up. Vanessa can take this wall and interpret it as rejection. In order to keep the relationship alive, drama is an effective tool to be used in order to get Nick's attention again. I feel like it was a toxic cycle, and although it's sad they couldn't figure it out, I feel like it's probably for the best. Love should never be a struggle.
It wasn't entirely off.
Nick was started getting this weird look on his face when he read it for the first time.
It was she's better than I thought.
Yeah.
She was, so props to her psychic friend who is doing something right, I guess. I don't know her. It's not like she had any inside information, but
yeah.
There was a bit of an unfortunate cycle in our relationship.
Yeah. Wow.
So apparently I'm complicated. So Meghan King Edmonds joins us. She's delightful. I really enjoyed getting to know her, and I hope that you do too. Screwball whiskey. I always love an alcohol with a provocative name. Screwball whiskey. Okay. It's peanut butter whiskey.
Yep.
That when you say it out loud sounds a little nutty. No pun intended.
Oh God! Wow.
I'll tell you what though. It's very tasty, and I honestly, to be totally honest, was a little skeptical at first.
Yes.
when I tried it. It's like, I love peanut butter and I love whiskey. Really, really good.
Yeah, savory, creamy with little sweetness.
It's sweet, and especially if you're, say, someone who's not used to drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
I have served it to friends of mine who don't call themselves whiskey drinkers. They all really enjoyed it because of that kind of sweet peanut butter taste that it has.
Yep.
It's really quick and amazing with a dessert. On vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're like, that sounds good, you got to try it. Don't go living your life without trying peanut butter whiskey.
God. And if you're like, oh, that sounds weird, it sounds weird, but it tastes delicious.
So good.
Screwball, the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available nearly everywhere. At 70 proof, Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the perfect shot or the perfect addition to your favorite cocktail. Pick it up at your local store or ask for it at your favorite bar or restaurant. Ready to #get screwed?
I am.
Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more info. Enjoy responsibly. Advertisement by Screwball Whiskey Spirits LLC, San Marcos, California. Whiskey with natural flavors and caramel coloring. 35% alcohol by volume. We all know that I try to eat healthy-ish.
Yeah.
I think we all try to eat healthy-ish, even if we're not on some extreme diet, it's always good to be mindful what we're putting in our body. But for me, the hardest part about eating healthy is the cravings I had in busy days.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's easier to eat healthy at home, right? You go grocery shopping, you know not to buy the sugary snacks or the things that you're trying to avoid. And then, go you buy at the grocery store, you make things that you like. But when you're out in the day and you're you're working all day and you don't get to go home, harder to do.
Yeah.
It's easier to cheat when it's just because of the convenience thing, right?
Exactly.
It's just I'm hungry. And then when you're really hungry, it's so much easier to cheat because I just want to not feel hungry. I found a solution. IQ bars.
And IQ bars, they're called IQ bars because they're the first nutrition bar packed with ingredients that fuel your brain and your body.
Well, because it has 6 brain nutrients like omega-3s and vitamin E.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not hungry anymore and I feel healthier.
Yeah. And if you're on keto, they're great for keto dieters and they're very low carb.
Very low carb.
Yeah.
It comes with great flavors like chocolate sea salt, almond, buttered chip, and lemon blueberry. My favorite being the chocolate sea salt.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite tasty at just 160 calories per bar. IQ bars are the perfect snack to stay full and focused throughout the day, especially that kind of 2-3 o'clock kind of time in the day where you're just low energy. Right now, our listeners can get 3 bars for free. Just pay $3.95 for shipping when you text FILES, FILES, to 29071. That is 29071. This is a special offer exclusively for our listeners. Text FILES, FILES, to 29071 to get 3 bars for free. Guys, 3 bars for free. Text FILES to 29071. Meghan King Edmonds. How are you?
Good. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. That name just rolls right off the tongue. We were talking before we started about people keeping their married names after divorced.
Yes,
and I just was curious about that, and I figured, hey, let's just start this episode. And
the name game.
With the name. That's something that people, when they get divorced, especially, women specifically, another decision they have to make.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if considering, maybe that woman didn't take their husband's name.
There's that too now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, when I got married, I didn't want to take his name. I thought my name was King. Why would I?
It's a great name.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a good name. It's a strong name. It was my name for many years. And he wanted me to take his name, which I also understand. And so we compromised. And I said, if and when we have a child, I will change my name so that I have the same name as the baby. And I did. Okay. And so
you were Meghan King. Mm-hmm. And then when you had your first kid, you went Meghan King Edmonds. Or do you just go by Meghan Edmonds?
Meghan King Edmonds.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But King is my middle name officially. Also, I named...
Did you change it to your middle name? Or was
I did.
Always, okay.
I added it. I just added it. I didn't change it.
Why
I just
not?
added it in. Yeah. So
it's a great name.
Thanks. I love it.
My mom, I feel like my mom downgraded when she got married.
What was her? What was her name?
Parker.
Oh, that's a cool name.
It's a solid. I could have been Nick Parker.
Yeah, but now you can take that name and name one of your kids Parker.
Oh,
that's cool.
Cute.
No, I mean, if I ever have a kid, I want my first kid's name to be Parker.
Yeah, boy or girl, that would
boy.
work.
I would prefer a boy.
You'd prefer a boy for the name Parker or for your child?
Both.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm mostly kidding.
I kind of don't think you're kidding.
I have nieces and nephews. I've always wanted a son, and when my nephews come around,
yeah, I mean, that's
I like
okay. That's
more.
okay.
I love my nieces. If I'm lucky enough to have a daughter, I'm sure I'll feel differently.
Of course, I mean, you would love your child.
I connect with my nephews, and I don't know.
That's fair.
I've always fantasized about having a son.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah,
but yes, Parker would.
That's cute.
Would
that's cute. I like that.
Girl.
Well, my maiden name King is all three of my kids' middle name. So they're all Aspen King Edmonds, Hayes King Edmonds, Hart King Edmonds. Mm-hmm.
Cute, clever. And so you plan on keeping the Edmonds?
I think so for now. I mean, because I kind of made this name for myself, on Instagram, Meghan King Edmonds, and I don't know.
What are we gonna do? I would want to change my name sometimes. I got into acting, and it's just
but you're stuck with
when you sign up for SAG. You're just well, now you got to pick your name, and now it's just well, I can't pick a different name. I'm Instagram.
I know, right?
Isn't that terrible?
Or is it?
The Instagram rules are decision making.
And my name was so long on Instagram, I couldn't even add the King in there. It has to go Meghan K Edmonds.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But you could. Have you looked for Meghan King? Is it even available?
Yeah, I've looked. I really want Megan. I wrote to the person who has Megan. I asked her for that, but she didn't respond. She has 20 posts. She's not active.
Wow.
When was the last time she used it?
I don't know. I don't even know if she's read my message.
She's sitting on a gold mine.
We can talk offline, but there might be a way we can get you.
He knows Mr. Right? Instagram.
Oh,
if they have it, we'll make sure you get on this before Wednesday, before this episode drops. But if they haven't used it in a while and it's not an active account, and they can look into that. It might be something you can do.
Really?
If you can change your Instagram to Meghan, will that completely change your decision on keeping your married last name?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely would change my Instagram to just Meghan, but no, I mean, I don't think so. But my idea is that I will kind of phase it out, Edmonds out, and just go by Meghan King. But I think MKE looks really cool.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Sounds cool.
For sure.
You think so?
I mean, I think of you
MKE
as
for
Meghan
sure.
King Edmonds. Yeah. I just do.
Yeah, it kind of flows.
It's just an interesting. I mean, obviously, we're talking about Instagram and branding, but just like the identity, we're talking about my my grandmother, Phyllis.
We all know and love her.
She got divorced from my grandfather. I don't know, like in the 60s ish, maybe early 70s. I don't know. It was a long effing time ago, and she's always just kept Viall is her last name, and
makes sense if it's your identity. Right.
And it's interesting how that, how that goes into women's decisions when they get divorced. I mean, for ones who decided to take on their husband's last name.
Right. And which actually brings up another thought of why don't men take the woman's last name?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, King is a great name.
King is a great name. I dated.
And Parker is a great name. Your mom's maiden name.
It is. I dated a girl who with the last name Fury once.
That's strong.
Fure, great name, and she tried to convince me to take that. I mean, there's an identity, and I get it, right? The pass on the father's name and kind of a traditional aspect of it. I mean, I will say when I was younger, it was, for all my girlfriends that I had in my 20s, and you'd talk about marriage or whatever, and there'd always be this discussion. And I didn't realize that I didn't have the best last name until I started dating. When I was growing up, it was just like, oh, Viall, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started having girlfriends. They're like, it's not the best,
Oh, like they're thinking about it already?
I mean, maybe.
I got
I feel like that's kind of like what you do when you're on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. You're thinking about marriage and taking on somebody's last name, right?
This was long before The Bachelor, but
well, you were getting groomed.
Yeah, I was. Yes, yeah. I was getting groomed, and I remember it would be like these little fights you have, but like I was like, oh no, I have to, and and it was more about them like. You wouldn't take my last name, and I was like offended by that because you're.
I don't think Viall's that bad of a last name.
It's fine, but I'm just saying, like I was. I don't really.
Is still Maria Viall.
Yeah,
your sister.
Well, she works public. She has she's taken his last name.
Oh, secretly.
No, but like in life, but before she has a strong local presence and with her wellness and in her business. So like for that purpose, she hasn't changed it. What I'm saying is, yeah, if I got married now, I don't think I would really care.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't care if you got married and your wife and you have a baby and then that baby doesn't have the same last name as your wife, or what?
If I got married and she was like, I really want to keep my maiden name, that's not a fight I would pick.
Right.
I just don't care anymore.
Right.
Now, if we had kids, I would want them to have my last name. I might pick a fight there.
Yeah.
The hyphenating, I don't really care.
I know the hyphenation thing, like it's a lot. It's long. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's why I gave my maiden name to my kid's middle name. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not as long. They can use it if they want, but it's not a legal name. Hyphens are hard. Okay, so my middle name is O'Toole. There's an apostrophe. And it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like
Your middle name is O'Toole.
That's my mom's maiden name. So I just continued the trend.
Easier on your kids, King being easier than O'Toole.
Yeah. I mean, apostrophes, they're like on some things, they don't allow apostrophes. And then also it's capital O, apostrophe, capital T. And on some forms, they don't allow 2 uppercase letters. So it's just annoying.
Yeah.
So just don't do the hyphen.
I've gotten it to say yes to the dress recently. So I've been watching old seasons and I saw you the other day. Isn't that funny?
You were on Say Yes to the Dress?
Uh-huh. A billion years ago.
Yeah.
I've seen that show. I dated a girl who watched it. It's a fun show.
It's addicting.
I remember getting into it. Like it was a Saturday afternoon. She's watching it. And I was like, oh, what are you watching?
When did she get a buy?
Was that your first
budget
reality TV?
I think so. I did something in St. Louis. It was Resale Royalty.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I don't even remember
what's that about.
It was about a secondhand store, and I worked there. I was an employee there on the secondhand show. But in reality, I worked 5 days a week selling medical software in Dallas. And then I would fly back to St. Louis on the weekends. That was my home base anyways. And pretend like I worked at the store.
To be on the show.
Right. Like it was just like a fun experience.
Sure.
They didn't pay me or anything. You know, I loved the store. I loved shopping resale. And so it was kind of like an organic fit, but I didn't work there. Huh. That was just like a fun thing.
That was your kind of start into
oh my gosh,
the
that's,
reality.
There it
Is this a clip from
That's a great photo of me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For choosing
Is that what? Say yes to the dress?
No, that's
this is
the
resale.
Oh. I mean, Meghan, like, looking up old photos of me from TV is maybe the worst exercise anyone.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone.
Oh yeah, this
do.
is you from Say Yes to the Dress.
Yes.
And then that was for the wedding. That was like you're really shopping for a dress.
Yeah, and that's the one I chose, but I ended up not getting it. And then I decided to get it, and then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to get it. And we were going to get married in Bora Bora, but then turned out to be this nightmare with like paperwork and stuff, and so we didn't get married in Bora Bora. So that dress like really wasn't fitting. Yeah, the place where we got married, which was just in St. Louis.
Reality TV, it's all a lie.
But like it wasn't a lie. Like I didn't think it was at the time.
It's just like it's all the truth. With like sometimes details are just you don't need to know everything, right?
I mean, I felt like when I was on The Real Housewives, it was very real, all of it. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but my experience was very authentic.
Rochelle would know more about your experience than I would, but. Do you get a lot of questions about that?
Like, is it real?
It's real. But when you say you can't speak for other people, do you feel like other people weren't as authentic as you are? Or were?
I don't know. I don't think so necessarily, but I think maybe they might have produced their stuff sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah, people do that. They kind of self-edit.
Right.
Right. And again, I don't watch Real Housewives, but I've gotten to know you a little bit, or just obviously you've been in the news a lot. And the biggest thing that comes across of you is like you just seem to be unapologetically yourself and super authentic and just honest with what's going on. And I think people find that really refreshing about you.
I appreciate that.
But you kind of that's how you were on The Real Housewives.
I was, and that's why why I'm saying that my experience was very authentic. I really don't know how to do an authentic, so that's kind of makes it easy for me.
Yeah.
You either like me or you don't. Like I can't really fake it either way. But yeah, so that's probably why I really enjoyed like doing the Housewives as much as I did, because it just was easy.
How many seasons were it?
3.
You're on 3?
Yeah, I was on 3.
And she like detailed her your fertility stuff where you like showed yourself like
giving myself injections.
Yeah, that was really interesting to watch.
Whoa.
So it wasn't easy to conceive?
Well, my husband at the time had a vasectomy, and so but he had frozen sperm. Oh. And so the only way for me to get pregnant with that was to do IVF. So I went through this IVF journey, and
because he had thought he was done, right?
Yeah.
Having kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have kids before?
Yeah, 4 children before ours.
And you have 3 now.
Yeah, so he has 7.
Oh,
wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you did the same with the twins then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot, but it was kind of weird. Driving up here, I was thinking about how I went through IVF, and it feels like so long ago. It feels like, yeah, I did it, and it's a part of my experience, my human experience, but also it feels like a blip. Like maybe it's just because I'm going through so much right now. Like the whole IVF thing is like, oh yeah, that happened. Like it's no big deal. Whereas for I think most people, it's a huge defining moment.
Yeah. But I think that's in life. A lot of times we don't do stuff because we think it's going to be so hard or take up so much time. And then it's like, it's over fast.
Yeah. Right.
And then
everything's relative.
Definitely. And then obviously the more you have going on, obviously it makes other things in the past like seem at least a distant memory because there's just so much you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, and with you, with all the things that you're dealing with right now, I mean, a lot of people listening, I'm sure, can relate to obviously just having stresses in their life. I mean, do you find that you're doing certain things to keep yourself active. I mean, a lot of people get divorced, right? A lot of we have callers every day at our Ask Nick episodes of like being single moms. Like, what are things that you're doing to kind of keep on going and dealing with the ups and the downs of all the things that kind of go with it?
I'm trying to, so I guess first and foremost, focus on my kids and trying to be present in the moment with them, which is so hard because they're so little and needy, and I really can't do anything else when I'm with them. But like, if I'm having to respond to an email or something, it's hard to come back to myself and say, no, like, just give your kids this attention. The email can wait, kind of thing. Because working from home, I think, is next to impossible, especially with 3 little kids running around. But so that's been important for me. But then also trying to actually deal with my emotions, because there's so many distractions in my life right now with like the new podcast that we're doing. My son is in therapy, physical therapy right now. I'm going through a divorce, and it's so easy to stay distracted. But I have to try to force myself to deal with the emotions. And if I'm feeling anger or sadness or pain, or basically just allow myself to feel the trauma and all the feels, because I think that by denying myself those feelings, I'm either going to miss out on a self-growth opportunity if I'm not like learning from that, or asking myself why I'm feeling this way. And second of all, I really think that by bottling up emotions, we make ourselves sick, and I need to release that.
We people do that a lot.
But that's a lot of work to release those emotions. It's a lot.
You seem so good at it, though. I feel like people would think that, again, being that honest and vulnerable person, like to just kind of get it out.
I mean, I'm not gonna like release anger and sadness necessarily like on an Instagram video, but I think there's certain things that probably should you just go through life. And sometimes I literally go up to my rooftop and I'll just get some fresh air, and I will like cry or just say I'm angry at this. But then I always try to like wrap it up with I'm thankful for this, because I do have a wonderful life full of joy, and I really want to focus on that, but without denying myself the human egotistical emotions that I feel like I'm angry about XYZ or whatever that might be. But yeah, that's like such a vulnerable moment. I'm not going to post that on social media, but I do it. Sure. I'll talk about it.
Yeah. Do you get when people come up to you or recognize you? I mean, what are some of do you get a lot of women who thank you for being so open and honest and kind of like sharing your story? Because I just feel like we don't see that a lot, especially like, sometimes even with women, they're like always be polite, be proper. Don't, guys when they're younger will, especially with their buddies, talk about all the things they're doing, and it's just like cool, whatever. And girls aren't supposed to do that because they don't want to, be judged or anything like that. And yet you've been so open and honest about your, sharing your stories. And I got to assume a lot of women find that refreshing.
Yeah, and they do. And so, when people come up to me a lot of times, and even in my DMs, they'll, say thank you for sharing, or they'll come up to me in person and say thank you for sharing. You've inspired me. And that inspires me because I'm just being myself. And just to be able to inspire other women by being myself is so freaking cool. And also a little bit sad, because I think that we all should be able to feel who we are and just be who we are. But it's not that easy.
No, well, because it's not that easy, because I think, every time you're honest about something, whether you're a public figure or you're not, there's always someone who's going to be critical or judgmental or have an opinion. Every
time I am honest about something that is not really that talked about, I just want to crawl into like a little hole and curl up in a ball and disappear. I get so scared. And then it's like I peek out and nothing's happening. Like everything is such a bigger deal to me than it is to anybody else.
It's very true. I mean, yes. It's interesting because a lot of people don't have that awareness to say that people I've met who,
We're in the public eye.
Eye, or even
the new Bachelor contestant.
True. Honestly, though, truly, that's kind of everyone.
Everyone.
I mean, everything's relative. I don't care if you were on The Bachelor or in the public eye or on Real Housewives. Everyone kind of just feels like their world is the most important.
Yeah.
And so, it's not common for people to just, have that awareness to be like, honestly,
like nobody cares.
No one cares about me.
Nobody cares.
And sometimes, again, when I give advice to people, it sounds like the best sometimes advice I give to people is no one cares about you.
Nobody.
And I say that because no one cares about me, and like it's I'm only hurting your ego when I say that, but in reality, it's kind of refreshing because
I know.
Think about all the things that we panic about.
It's freedom.
We all worry about what people think of us. Or, oh God, are they going to think that? And are they going to think this? And if I knew no one cared, that'd be so nice.
Everybody else is doing it too, by the way.
Yes.
This is something that I've come to realize. Like, if I release something that I think is like shameful or unusual, turns out it's not. And that's kind of cool. And also, nobody cares.
Yeah. BetterHelp. I mean, I love BetterHelp. I love what it's doing for our audience. I love what it's doing for people in general. We talk a lot about mental health on this show, and I would say 80% of our guests who come on talk about having gone to therapy and getting help with their mental health. Well, BetterHelp is great for that, and they make it super easy, super affordable. Best of all, it's a truly affordable option. The Viall File listeners get 10% off your first month with a discount code VIALL. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/VIALL. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/VIALL. Well, guys, you all know how much we love Embark. Embark. It's this fascinating way to find out more about your furry little friend.
DNA test.
We all know our friend Shug did it and found out more about Oliver. We have a lot of our customers a lot of our listeners rather, have tagged us in with their furry pets and their results. We brought in Dustin, one of our executive producers, who has a furry friend himself who has Embark.
Bubby.
Yeah, Bubby. Yeah. So I did the DNA test. She was a rescue. I got her at 9 years old, knew nothing about her. I just knew she was a beagle, but wasn't sure if there was a mix.
Yeah.
I didn't put her breed down, and they knew she was 100% beagle. Just
100%.
straight from, yeah. So that was kind of cool to know that she's purebred.
Yeah. Did you find out anything about her health?
Yeah. I mean, I knew that she wasn't exactly in the best of health from her previous owner, and they kind of gave her age based on her DNA is that she's 98 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I definitely went to my vet and had her checked out and, treating her for different things.
Did you tell the vet about the test?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I let him know what was going on because I think it's something that a lot of vets are still kind of learning about themselves. They know that it's out there, but necessarily haven't had that nice jumping off point. It's a great way to get the check started.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think it's really fascinating, and the more you know about your friend, the more you can help them. So right now, Embark has an exclusive offer you can't get anywhere else. Go to embarkvet.com now and use promo code VIALL to save 15% off your dog DNA test kit. Visit embarkvet.com and use promo code VIALL to save.
Would you ever go back on Real Housewives? I know you were on this past season for an episode.
Oh yeah, I did
on the train.
I did. And you know what? I was annoyed by that because I love theme parties and I dressed up like a train conductor.
I loved your hat.
Nobody else did.
Why were you annoyed?
That was the one episode they didn't dress up.
No, I know. We went on a train. It was like a train party.
Sure.
We went on Amtrak.
They had this stupid comment that someone was pulling a train, which was the dumb,
like a sex thing.
A sex thing. Have you heard of that? Pulling a train?
No.
It's not a thing. Do you think it's a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But so they went on a train,
And you were a conductor.
Yeah, so I dressed up like a conductor and nobody else did. And so, yeah, a bit of what I don't care. It was fun. And yeah, I loved going back for that and kind of hanging out with the girls again. But I saw there was a lot of drama that night, and it reminded me that I don't need to be a part of the drama. But it was fun. I don't know. I miss reality TV, and I often think about going back. But I don't know how that would look. Because I don't want to look. I'm not living in Orange County. Like, I don't know where it would be.
Logistically.
Well, logistically, it wouldn't be Orange County, but maybe Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I wish you could go on Beverly Hills.
How's that work? Can we petition?
Come on, Andy.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because they've never had a housewife switch cities, I guess.
People move.
Yeah.
Come on.
Life change. I know. That's like, so I don't know.
I would think they would want you. You seem like a big hit on it.
Well, thanks. I don't know.
For someone who doesn't watch Real Housewives, I'm fully aware of who you are, and I'm not fully aware of a lot of the people on that show.
Would you go back on reality TV?
I mean, I don't have any plans on it, but like, you know, I wouldn't say like there's no situation when I would never go back on.
Did you enjoy it?
At times.
So not always. Like, it wasn't your thing?
It's just the Bachelor is different because there's always a focus, and that focus is the pressure of having to find love or kind of thing.
Gosh,
so like,
it sounds like a lot of pressure.
You know, and it's just, so it's like, I don't know what it's like to go on Real Housewives, but I'm assuming the general premise is you're kind of going about your lives.
Yeah.
And it's obviously dramatic and stressful at times, but if you're not feeling it, you don't have to date, right? And so like the going on The Bachelor is, it's hard that way because there's a lot of pressure about that specific
thing. So it's mentally taxing and heavy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be.
And probably really time consuming as well. Like,
well, I mean, it's different. Again, also like you stop your life, right? It's not like not like
that is your life.
That you basically like stop living your life and go do that thing.
Right. Yeah. So it is different.
So now that you are kind of in this transitional period in your life, right? Now you're single, you have young kids. What's that like for you? I mean, does it make you nervous, excited, all of the above? Are you out there dating? Are you going to take a time out? I mean, I've asked you like 5 questions before you answered any, but like, where are you at? Like, what can people expect from Meghan and her love life going forward?
I don't know. So right now yes, I'm scared, and I'm anxious to see kind of where everything's going to go. The custody's in the air, the divorce is in the air, everything's in the air. And while I'm trying to really pursue my career more than ever, I just launched a podcast with Brooke Burke and Leila DeVille called Intimate Knowledge. And so I put a lot of energy into that. And it's kind of scary to start a new project right as my life is in this massive transition.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I'm really just pouring my energy into my kids and my job while I transition through this like energetically weird space in my life. But as far as dating goes, I'm not seeking it out, but like, I wouldn't say no if it hit me. I'm just trying to go with the flow, and I'm just trying to like be in the moment. And so, yeah.
Do you find that a lot of your friends are trying to set you up with stuff?
No.
You're not. Does that bother you?
I've never thought about that until you just asked me. So thanks. It does bother me. Why don't they want to set me up? No, I'm kidding.
No. What I've noticed is that my female single friends like to be set up and will be bothered if their friends don't. And I feel like a lot of guys, myself included, being set up gives me anxiety.
Yeah, no, I think it gives me anxiety too, because I'm thinking about it. What if my girlfriend called me and said, hey, I want to hook you up with this person? I don't know. There's a lot of pressure with that. Can't we just hang out as a group and nobody talks about being set up?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but as a guy.
Does that happen? Like, I don't even know how this works.
Dating. How long you married for?
5 years.
Okay. So you haven't been out of the game that long. How long were you dating before you got married?
1.5 years.
Okay, so like 6. You've been out of the game for almost.
But I'm a relationship person. I'm like always in a relationship.
But maybe we need to not be for a minute.
Maybe you're right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but
that's why I got to learn about dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you need to learn?
Like, do you go out in a group? Do you go on dates? How do you meet people? We were just talking about this on my podcast the other day. How do you meet people?
You can meet people all different ways.
Right.
You can get set up. You can go on dating apps. Do you think you could ever go on a dating app?
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem very open, obviously in a lot of different ways, but you don't say no to a lot of things. And I mean that in a great way where like a lot of people, especially as we get older, we get comfortable and we get closed off. A lot of people are like, oh, do we get on a dating app? No, I don't believe in that. Like there's a belief system that goes in the dating apps,
It's like a religion.
Yeah, but you seem so kind of open about it. So yeah, you can go on a dating app. You can get set up by friends. You could go to the grocery store. You can go to
we
game
were
night.
just saying grocery store. Yeah.
Everyone says grocery store or coffee shop. That's everyone's dream.
Have you met anyone at a grocery store?
I'm sure I have. I don't remember the last time.
Like you've gone on it, like you met somebody at a grocery store and then went on a date with that person.
I don't know if I have. I'm trying to think.
I met a guy. So this is so funny. I met a guy in a grocery store recently, like a married guy, like not a romantic thing, but like it happened.
How did you meet him?
So I was with my son, and he was like carrying his baby, like in a little holder.
So you're just with child. He's with child.
Yeah. And the kids liked each other. Like the kids were like,
oh, we're using the kids. All right. Smart.
But no, it wasn't a dating thing. Like this guy was married. It wasn't romantic.
How do you know?
I saw his ring. I looked.
Okay. Was there a friendly banter?
I mean, like we talked about chocolate chips in the baking section, but that was it. I mean, it was just very friendly.
So you looked for the ring.
I did.
Okay, so he was married. So let's assume in the scenario, he doesn't have a ring. Was he a handsome guy? You looked for a reason. You looked because you were curious.
Right. I was curious.
And had he not had a wedding ring on, do you think you would have had the courage to make yourself available?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Also, he had a baby, and that's as hypocritical, at the risk of sounding extremely hypocritical, I'm not really into dating a guy with kids.
Interesting.
But also, there's a flip side to it.
Why?
Okay.
Why? And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with like...
So, okay, there's two sides to it.
You get like 3 of your own.
Right. I mean, I love kids and I loved being a stepmom, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just like a lot of baggage.
Gut feeling? Oh, baggage?
No, it's bad. And I hate to call kids baggage, but it's just like, I mean, kids are a lifelong commitment, and you didn't have any input into like creating this child, and it's just hard. I've been a stepmom. It's difficult.
So, so like he didn't have any, like this guy, this imaginary new boyfriend. Okay. You're saying he didn't have any input. So it's like.
No, I'm saying like I wouldn't. Like if I were to go into that relationship and then, be kind of like a stepmom or, that kind of idea, it's hard. I know it's hard. But on the flip side, a man with children understands what I'm going through because he has children.
Do you think it would matter if this guy, like in this particular grocery scenario, he had a kid?
Right.
Would you be more willing to date a guy who like well, no, you said you want a guy with a single guy, but yeah.
Well, we saw in Orange County the struggle with the step kids. That was difficult.
It was.
Yeah. Do you still talk to them? Or
no,
that's hard.
Sad. I know.
You got close with them, and then not so much now.
I mean, we're in a tumultuous time, so time will tell what happens. But yeah, I mean, like and then there's the thought of if I were to go into a relationship with a guy, would I want the kid to be little or older? Like, I mean, this is assuming that I have any, decision-making power in this respect at all. Like, I'm just going to like create like an avatar and they're going to pop up.
of a boy. But it's good to ask ourselves these questions.
I think the answer is I don't know what the F I want.
Okay. That's fine.
But I know.
Open to it.
I mean, I know the values that I'm looking for, but I don't know.
What are the values?
Well, loyalty.
Okay. We have some guys listen to this podcast. You never know. They might be out there being like, yep, loyalty, check. Your DMs. Or what else? We got loyalty.
Yeah, all right. They're sliding in too. It is. Oh my God.
It's hot season.
They coming in hot?
Oh, they are.
All right, let's get to that. Let's first talk about Meghan's list. Loyalty.
So loyalty. Check. I would say solid family upbringing. A solid family, solid upbringing.
Okay.
Career, like solid career. I want somebody who works. Like, I don't want any kind of like.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Well, I don't want like a trust fund person. Well, you can have a trust fund. That's totally fine with me. But like, but you also need to work.
Sure. Honestly, there's not a lot of trust fund people out there, and so unless you're shopping in a specific store, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay.
Right?
What is that like?
I feel like I meet a lot of people that are still living off their parents.
I guess it's LA.
Yeah,
but,
not okay.
But it's not a very relatable problem.
No, I mean, I don't have a trust fund, but I don't want an athlete, professional. College is fine, but if
he could have been athletic.
That's fine. Yes, but not like that. I don't want that to have been how you made your living.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Okay.
What else?
I feel like you're describing Nick.
Oh, well, Nick. Is that why you're asking, Nick? Are you checking off the boxes in your mind?
What do you want me to say here? I thought maybe our audience members or our people listening might be interested.
Well, you haven't slid into my DMs. I can vouch for that.
I have not. Let's talk about your DMs. They're hot right now. What are we looking at?
I don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say that they're hot, but
the DMs are hot.
The DMs are hot. Yeah,
they're coming in hot.
They are. It's so funny.
It's a wide variety.
I think so. Like, there's literally people asking for me to go out in Boston and San Francisco. They're like,
so these are honest attempts. These are like, hey, you're nice. Will you go out with me? These aren't like just dick pics.
I haven't gotten any dick pics.
Dick pics.
No.
Wow, what gentleman.
She's a mother.
Yes.
Are you offended that you have not gotten any?
No, God, no.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like you always hear from girls. They just always get these.
I can't wait to get a dick pic so I can send a dick pic back.
Have you responded to any?
No.
DMs?
I haven't even allowed them into my.
No, sure. Yeah. But you can see them.
I can see them. Yeah.
Have
and then I'll like look at them.
Have any of them intrigued you? Have you thought? No. Have you remotely thought of been like? Oh,
no.
He's kind of handsome.
No, I have not.
Not one.
No, not one.
That's how it's going. Usually, going.
But like, I can't see much, and then I don't want to follow them.
They have private accounts.
Not always.
Not always.
But like,
I
don't know.
It blows my mind. Someone slides into a DM and they're like, "Hi," and they have a private account and they have all their little tiny avatar. It's just like,
right.
Let's say. Like, again, I'm not saying that I want people. No, I'm not saying I want people to be sliding, and I'm like relying on that. But to your point, like if you're gonna shoot your shot, go ahead and shoot it, shooter.
Right.
Like I'm gonna reply back hi to basically a total. I don't even know if this is a real person.
And then I'll get some. They're like hi with hearts or something.
Yeah.
Well, what do I do with that? But some are like real attempts. Hey, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I would love to be there for you. Would you like to get lunch sometime?
I would love to be there for you is kind of a weird thing to say for a guy.
The whole thing is weird.
Yeah, I mean, sliding into someone's DM's fine. Keep it simple. Knowing, sliding into your DM and then admitting to you that they know a lot about your story and want to be there for you is a little much.
I know, it feels almost like violating.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like they know too much, or they're more fans than like potential suitors. We need a guy who like slides into your DM who's just like
normal.
His page is public. It seems normal.
Mm-hmm.
He makes some sort of witty comment on one of your photos that makes you chuckle.
Yeah, but then you have to find that comment.
What do you mean?
That's hard to find, right?
No.
Well, I have a lot of followers. Like I don't know like where the comment would be because there's a lot of
no. But he would slide into your DM and then like comment.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, got it. I'm following.
Here's the trick. Like bring up Megan's Instagram.
Okay.
Let's slide into Megan's DM.
Okay, let's see how this works.
All right, we're scrolling. So the first trick is you have kids in there. So if I'm a guy. Mm-hmm. I'm avoiding the kids ones because not that it's just like, that's too personal.
Totally.
I don't need to go there. And then I would avoid any like overtly thirst traps. Like that's
Like a sexy pic kind of thing? Okay.
Because that's too obvious because like, guys, the thirst traps, there's clearly you're getting a bunch of like heart eye emojis and you're so hot.
Yeah.
And it's too easy.
Yeah. Thirst. So, what'd you call a thirst trap?
Thirst trap.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
And so here we go. You click on, well, that's an Instagram TV. So that's a video there. Yeah. Keep going.
Is that a thirst trap? The selfies?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you look very nice, but none of these you look like you're like I've posted like it's obvious. It's like, hey, I'm feeling hot today. I want to share it with the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We know what this is. And so, all right. So like the Halloween one. Oh, there we go. The selfie one right there. Very simple. It's like you just pick a normal one, and then you find something else in the photo, and you comment on that. I slid into a girl's DM once, and like in the back of her photo there was like a blender of some sort, and I was just like, hey, honest question, just like wondering where you found this. Like it was obviously that it wasn't a question.
That is
I made it a joke. Like
that's genius.
One time I made a joke about like, hey, do you still have your like promo code? Because it was clearly an ad or something. It was
that's funny.
It was obviously that I was like fucking around and like making conversation, but it wasn't like, oh, you're so hot or
did it
hot.
Work?
Yeah, they usually get a response. Yeah.
And then where'd it go from there?
Nowhere. But it doesn't, I mean,
that's funny though.
But like that's how you would just you see an average photo and then you go in. For all the guys listening, I'm expecting you to get
we'll see.
It's just like in that way, like you probably won't like. That doesn't mean they won't respond, but if they want to respond, then you're giving them something to work with, right?
Yeah.
Because then like you have immediately they've asked a question. Now you can answer the question. You can maybe there actually is a promo code, or maybe you just make something up.
Right. Yeah.
Like, imagine all the different promo codes you can make up.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I'm excited about your dating life going forward now.
Me too. I'm feeling inspired.
So do you get nervous about how you're saying you're talking on your podcast about how else to meet people? Does that make you nervous? Like, when am I going to go out? How am I going to meet new people?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think it makes me excited.
That's good. That's encouraging.
Yeah, I love meeting people, and I like hanging out and trying new things, and so I think it'll be fun.
Do you have a plan about how you would date and introduce a guy with young kids? Because I know there's a lot of moms out there who have certain rules, or how quickly they want to introduce, or even have to dealing with an ex-husband. Is that not something that you think about too much?
No, yeah, I have thought about it. I don't know how that would look because my oldest kid is only 3, but she remembers people. And so like, I kind of feel like she would pick up on whether or not something was romantic. And that I think that should be shielded from her until it's like, I know that it's might be going somewhere or is going till it is going somewhere. But I don't know. Overall, I don't really know what that's going to look like because there's so little, and their mom is a single mom. And like, my life is so non-traditional as it is. We fly between St. Louis and LA, and I'm talking to you right now. It's this crazy kind of life. So, and I'm a single mom who's in the dating world, and I talk about it. So what does that look like for them? I don't know.
Does that make you nervous, like being so open? And then
for my kids, not at all.
No, the guys.
Yeah, really nervous. Yeah.
Because your podcast is about sex, right?
Yeah, that part doesn't make me nervous, but like the stuff about my life, like when I became single, I literally like looked at my Instagram and I thought, holy shit, this is not a single woman's Instagram. This is like a married woman's Instagram who talks about kids and life and doesn't wear makeup. And that is scary. That's there forever.
Well, why is it scary?
I don't know. I feel like it should be sexy and like, but it's an expectation I have in my brain. Then I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know, because you are a mom, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's who I am.
So like, I mean, you don't want to like give off an impression of like, of being something that you're not.
Right.
I mean, people do that on Instagram all the time.
But in my head, a single woman acts and looks a certain way, right? I think that's like a normal stereotype that probably a lot of
yes, I definitely appreciate the stereotype.
It's a stereotype,
sure, right?
And so I am not the stereotype, and so that is like my kind of like knee-jerk reaction to becoming single.
But yeah, you don't want to do that because you'd only end up attracting a bunch of people you wouldn't want to attract.
Right.
So your podcast, it's out now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About sex, very open. You, Brooke Burke, and then you also have
Leela DeVille. Yes,
she's a sex therapist.
She's a sex therapist.
And so what are you guys talking about in terms of all the different kind of things that women are kind of open to about sex that you guys weren't talking about before, that in a mainstream world that is more taboo?
I guess so. So basically everything we talk about is just the things that women are already talking about over coffee with their friends. But we're talking about anything from like, I think on the next episode we talk about sex toys and erectile dysfunction. We've talked about like porn and just how we connect with our partners, and it's how it's not always about sex and music, and I mean, just
how do you women in your group feel about porn? Because we get a lot of people who have a lot of questions and a lot of opinions about porn, both on both sides, in terms of whether they think it's good or toxic for their relationships.
So we haven't really done a super deep dive into it, but I would say the general consensus is that,
or just with your friends, like not necessarily
porn is not the way that women want to have sex. Like the porn, like the porn as we know it, like the stereotypical porn is not how women are into having sex.
Totally.
And how that kind of can skew a woman's sexual experience with a man if they are not in tune to the woman's intimate goals.
Yeah. And have you over the years feel like when you're like hooking up with a guy, it's just like he's watched a lot of porn based off how he acts?
1,000,000,000%. 1,000,000,000%. I've literally talked to the girls about this. Not on the air yet, but yes. It's crazy. Like it's totally a thing. You're like, dude, come on, just turn off the internet.
Have you ever said anything to any guy you've ever?
I mean, I really haven't been with a lot of people. Like I said, I'm a relationship kind of person. But
even
I mean, so out of the 3 women, believe it or not, out of the 3 women on the show, I'm totally the most conservative, like by far. And yeah, so I'm like learning about stuff from Brooke and Leela. Tell me more. What's it like?
But you have dealt with the feeling that way, but you haven't brought it up to the guys.
No, I don't know. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Yeah, you can't embarrass them.
Can't
People
you do
are
it?
Fragile. Men are fragile.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt any feelings here. But if I was in a relationship, yeah,
okay,
that would definitely.
You would in a relationship,
yeah,
but you don't get that far because you're just like, ugh, stop.
Well, Leela says that you need to talk about that and talk about, your needs and how to redirect.
I guess I have 2 thoughts on that, and I've kind of mentioned, I don't think men necessarily are as fragile as they're perceived in that department. I also think, who cares? Because like, for all the men doing that who are getting it wrong, as you admit, like, these girls are going back and they're talking to their friends about it, right? So there's a difference of bringing it up in a mean way that makes you feel judged, or just like kind of what.
Well, the thing with sex is that
talking about it and bringing it up.
Yeah, and anybody who is engaging in a sexual experience with another person is there to please each other and each other. Yes. So like you want pleasure, they want pleasure. And so if one person isn't getting pleasure, then it deserves a conversation, because that's not the goal of anybody there.
Yeah, no, I would
so that basically that's kind of like what we explore. A part of what we explore. I mean, we explore everything. Like last episode we were talking about Valentine's Day dinner, Like what is
about it?
So there's this menu that we talked to the chef about that's kind of an aphrodisiac menu.
There's such a thing.
That's kind of what we were talking about. Is there such a thing? And apparently there is, but I think it's kind of a placebo effect.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Which is a thing. Like the placebo effect is a real thing. I mean, it works.
I mean, the power of the mind is very, very convincing.
Yep.
Now, as far as like, the podcast and talking about sex, you even said you feel like you're the most conservative, but yet you're very open. Like, so is that something that's been comfortable for you when you were younger? You weren't as comfortable and you've kind of grown and been more open, or like, where do you kind of fall in line with that? And do you see yourself kind of becoming even more open and growing in that department?
So I've always been open, ever since I was little, but I still, things will be brought up on the show. And sometimes I'll say, oh my gosh, I get like, what is this? What is this about? I have no idea what they're talking about. And other times I'm like, oh God, I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk about this.
What are the things that you, in terms of like,
I don't know,
that give you the most anxiety to talk about?
I don't know. I would have to think about it for a while.
What about past relationships? Have you ever been in a relationship where like the guy wanted to talk about something and you weren't sure how to like, I'm not into that.
No,
I'm not
I think I've been in a lot of relationships with men who aren't as communicative as my goal avatar man is going to be.
What have you done to try to change that in the relationships, or did you just kind of like be like, I guess you don't communicate?
I don't know, like try, like I've done it all. Like you go to therapy, or you like one-on-one dinner, talk about things, or game night or whatever.
Do you want to play? Speaking of games, do you want to play a little game?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's called Do You Know Me?
Okay.
And it's real simple. We're gonna guess. I think I tend to win these. But I feel like Rochelle's gonna win this one.
Because I know her better than you.
Yeah,
because of the Housewives.
Yeah.
Watch the Housewives.
So yeah, it's real simple.
Okay.
I'm gonna say has Meghan, did Meghan.
Okay.
Fill in the blank. Don't answer right away. Think to yourself.
All right.
And then we are gonna guess who knows Meghan better.
Got it.
And Rochelle picked these questions.
Yeah, you don't have to do all of them. I got a lot in there, so just pick the one you want.
Yeah, these are good. All right. And then if you have like a fun anecdotal story you want to share that reminds you based off the question, feel free.
All right.
Question number 1. Has Meghan ever changed a flat tire? Has Meghan ever changed a flat tire?
I'm going to say definitely not. Because she said she's always in relationships. I feel like there's always someone she could call to do it. So, also, I haven't ever. She's a model.
What if she tried once? I don't know.
What's your answer, Nick?
You're probably right. I want to say no.
Okay, say no then.
No, I think I'm going to say she has. I think she's attempted. I think someone taught her. What I'm saying is I don't think she's completely dismissed the possibility.
Yeah, I mean, she's very capable.
I'm going to say you have, just for fun.
I certainly have not.
Yes. Woo!
And AAA has done it a lot for me.
Have you had a lot of flat tires?
In college, I did, yeah.
You never once tried?
It literally never crossed my mind.
I know. I don't either.
I mean, AAA.
But like so my roommate in college did know how to change a flat tire. And that was kind of, I thought, oh, people can change their own flat tires. So that was kind of cool, like to think about the possibility. Like you said, Nick, I wouldn't shut down the possibility, but I haven't done it.
I guess when it comes to things like that, we've become not necessarily lazier, but there's literally AAA. There's a bunch of, it's like, oh, well, someone else can, and AAA is very nice.
Have you changed a flat tire?
Yeah.
Oh.
But if I have
He's
AAA,
surprisingly handy.
That's convenient.
I have and I can, but if I had AAA,
yeah,
I'd call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question number 2. Has Meghan ever thrown up in public?
Look at that face. I feel like college. We're talking about a crazy college experience. Yeah, in college.
I don't remember, right?
That was you know what? I missed out there. I should have asked her if she blacks out or pukes, because you're usually one of the two.
Are you a blackout or puker?
I'm a puker. I'm
a puker.
Yeah.
I think I've done both.
Okay.
I've there's got to be a time.
It could be non-alcohol related.
Right, could be.
Have you ever gotten the stomach flu?
I don't think so.
I feel like you would remember.
I feel like in college, there's probably a time where I was at a frat house or something and threw up.
Probably.
But you don't remember.
It's not really college unless you do that.
Right.
I went to Ole Miss. It's a kind of a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Let's say you went to Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Has Meghan ever rushed in a sorority?
Yeah. She's
You're
the
the
queen.
oldest?
She's
Yeah.
the queen of her sorority, probably.
I did. I was a Kappa Gamma.
Oh.
But only for 1 year because I tried to go to a dance with another girl and my sorority thought I was a lesbian.
Your sorority thought you were a lesbian?
And they asked me if I was, and I told them that was none of their business.
Hell yeah.
And so since I wouldn't say if I was a lesbian or not, they basically kicked me out and then I quit.
What? Good for you.
I was so upset. I was only 19 years old. All I wanted to do was be in my sorority and have fun.
Yeah.
But I thought it was horrible that they didn't want lesbians.
I thought that's very good for you to be not get super defensive and say no. And
Well, I got super defensive. I'm I'm going to the dance.
No, but you were good for you, defiantly.
Yeah.
I think that
was
great.
It was wrong.
Wow.
It was wrong of
Ole
them.
Miss,
letting us down.
Turns out they've changed.
Oh,
Girls can
good.
go to dances now. Yeah.
Okay, well, good for you.
I mean, it's
Ole
only
Miss.
been a billion years later.
Yeah. Making strides. Maybe.
Well-behaved women rarely make history, right?
There you go. Nicely done.
Were you the prom queen and stuff?
In high school, no.
No?
No, I went to so many. I went to an all-girl Catholic high school.
Oh.
So it's kind of a different
Yeah.
situation.
Different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Has Meghan gotten a tattoo in the past 2 years?
No, do the recent.
6 months? Do you know something I don't know?
No, I'm just saying this is a crazy time for her. A lot of stuff's happening. That's when you make impulsive decisions.
Okay.
Watch out.
I want to know what impulsive decisions.
I'm going to
she
say
made.
no. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
6 months.
I'm thinking a heart, somewhere kind of hidden or something like that.
No. But I have one tattoo. It's right here, and it's a JE. And I do want to get it lasered off, so that might that might fall into a
You
little
can make
different
that into
category.
something else.
Why do you want to get it? Why do you want to get it lasered off?
Well, it's big. My ex's initials, and also
You didn't catch
yeah.
that?
No, I'm over
I guess.
it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I think I should have picked up it because it looks nice.
When did you get that?
I got it in Tahiti on our honeymoon. Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of liked it. It was cool. I was asleep for the whole thing because I passed
It also
out.
doesn't look like a.
JE.
You passed out
I
from the
see
pain?
it now, but
I don't like needles, so
Oh,
it scared
God.
me.
I see it now, but I would never have. If you didn't,
Yeah.
if you didn't tell me, I would have said, "Oh, what is that tattoo of?
Right.
Does that mean something?"
Yeah, no.
I think you can pass it off as something else.
Does he have one of yours?
No, he never got one.
Uh-oh, dick.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's coming off anyway.
Does Meghan know who won the last, World Series?
Throw a softball. Hey.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't. That's funny.
Do you know?
That is really
do you know NBA championship or Super Bowl?
Nope.
Staying on brand. I like it.
That's pretty
I
fun.
know that Houston was in the World Series, but I think
lost.
the Nationals.
There you go.
Did
Yeah,
okay.
they did.
Oh, she pulled through.
But okay, so then football. Mm-mm.
Go with your gut.
The Giants. I don't know.
Way off.
Okay. The Patriots.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then basketball.
No, I just felt you were naming
No
off
idea.
teams you remember.
Well, I was trying to, yeah, for real. Well, because Eli Manning he went to Ole Miss, and then so that's why I thought the Giants, and then the Patriots. I remember my sister lived in Boston, and so I was like, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, they're good.
They're a safe bet.
Love sports.
Has Meghan ever lived abroad?
Okay, let's think about this. We kind of know everything she's done
I don't.
past.
I'm gonna say no.
Did she study abroad in college? Did she study abroad in college? I'm gonna say yeah. You studied abroad in college.
No.
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
I took a semester off of college and I tried to model.
Yeah.
And I lived in Milan.
Tried to.
I modeled. I lived in Milan, and then I hated modeling, and I went back to college.
Why'd you hate modeling?
It's a grind, and
You're saying like everyone would love it.
No, I'm asking her.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why.
I thought I would love it. It seemed very glamorous.
But but like you didn't. Like
no,
but I want to know
people do,
why.
some people don't,
But
yeah.
why didn't she?
I just felt very used for the way I looked.
Yep. I don't like the way they talk to you, right?
I don't like any of it. And
Yeah.
so, and I did well in school academically. And so I was like, I can do this. And
What
so
did
I
you-
went back to school.
What'd you major in?
Marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went back to school and graduated early. I was really focused after that, because I kind of learned that I
So
need
you're
to
a
use my
little-
brain in life.
So you're a little brainiac.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
Graduated early after taking a semester off?
Well, I guess on time then. So
That's still impressive.
semester. Yeah.
I took 5 years.
Did you?
I did.
Did you get it master's?
I was a double major.
Oh, okay.
But still, I still took my time.
You took your time. I mean, I can see how you can take your time for sure.
I mean, yeah, but still very impressive.
Thanks.
Has Meghan bought or received flowers this month?
Hmm. Maybe like a congratulatory flowers on
From
her
a friend?
podcast for her podcast. I'm going to say yes.
Friend, maybe?
I think she gets flowers a lot from just people.
I'm going to say no.
I have.
Yes. I'm killing
From my nanny.
Aww.
I know. She just got me just because flowers. Literally wrote me a card and said just because. She's a live-in nanny. And she's been really busting her butt and saving me from just like spiraling into like,
Yeah.
into just chaos because I have so much happening. And she got me flowers just for the heck of it.
Sweet.
Very nice of her.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And is that really, that still works for the women out there?
Sure does.
Flowers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guys, why doesn't that work for guys?
Well, does it? Or it doesn't?
Getting flowers?
You don't like getting flowers?
Well, my love language is definitely not gifts.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just a me thing,
Maybe.
But,
My brother likes flowers. He likes getting flowers. He's gay, though. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I don't know.
I'm serious. I don't know. Maybe it
I don't
does.
know. I think some guys would appreciate the gesture because it really is just about the thought, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that you're being thought of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last question. Did Meghan ever have an imaginary friend? This is a great question. I feel like you could have.
She has a brother that she's close with. Yeah, I think she did too.
I mean, like when you were 6 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Aww.
There are two. I had
Two?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember their names?
Yeah, I kind of do. They were like really long, ridiculous names, like Esmeralda kind of thing. And I think I was inspired by is it Sleeping Beauty where there's the fairies?
Oh yeah.
I think it was
Merryweather
something like that. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's cute.
Have you struck
I have a big imagination.
Yeah.
Do you strike me as someone who in life, do you ever feel like you've been misunderstood? Ever?
I don't know. Do you think do I strike you like
Well,
that?
I say that as a compliment. I sometimes do. You're obviously very smart and you're a thinker and
Yeah.
you're tall and beautiful. And then like
Thank you.
people like, well, it's easy to like make snap judgments at certain people. You have kind of like layers to you
Yeah.
and different parts of you. So I wonder if people are quick to label you one way where you feel like you're might be they don't see other aspects of you that you would like them to see.
So yes, yeah, I do. Like even with my friends have said to me like a new friend has friends have said to me, well, oh, your group of friends is different than what I thought. And I'm like, well, what did you think my group of friends? Well, they thought my group of friends would be like, have all designer clothes and wear fancy shoes and, be perfectly done up, where in reality, they're all ages from, like 20 to 60 and some wear makeup, some are fancy, some aren't, and they're just everything. And I think that I don't fit into a stereotypical box, that I'm more dynamic than that, but I don't feel misunderstood that I can't break out of that role, but just misunderstood that.
That's what I mean more like that, like where I feel like throughout your life, people would make quick judgments that you'd be like, well, no, not necessarily. Like your friend thing being a perfect example where people would put you as a certain stereotype in certain things, and you'd be like, well, no, and this, and
right,
and I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then I've gotten, I'm very girly, and I like to like gossip about pop culture and fun things and be silly and vapid at times, and so I guess because of that, sometimes I get placed in the box of being not very smart, and actually, I kind of like that because I like to surprise people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I shouldn't say I like it, but it's fun for me because I'm like, oh, well, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just shows that you're very confident with the fact that you are.
I'd say so. I'm comfortable with who I am.
Well, it's like you know that you are smart.
You don't
right?
need someone to say it.
You don't need someone to say it, right? So some people you meet where it's like no one thinks I'm smart, and it really bothers me. Well, either A, they don't.
Then be smarter.
Well, or they don't believe that they are, right? They actually do question. Or let's say someone who's struggling with their weight. If someone were to make a comment about their weight, that might bother them as opposed to someone who's not self-conscious about it. It just says that you're not self-conscious about that, and that comes across.
Speaking of gossip, before we go, do you have any thoughts on the new season of Orange County or Beverly Hills? Are you keeping up with any of that stuff?
No, I really don't.
Because I mean, people are getting the chop. They say Vicky's getting the chop.
I've heard that there's rumors, but there's always rumors. Every year there's rumors.
How does it work? Like, when do they ask you back? When do you know you're not making the cut? Like,
I think, okay, what are we? I feel like they probably know right now, but it's January. It's January, the middle of January. So I feel like they probably already know. They might even be filming right now, but they also make decisions going into filming. I mean, they can cut anybody halfway out through the season. Yeah.
Oh.
Or they could, if they feel like it's not rolling smoothly, they could always add somebody in early on.
They do that?
Yeah.
Do you think that Vicky, like, they just don't want to deal with her anymore? Or?
I mean, I don't want to deal with her ever. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's just a hard personality. I don't think she would even be offended if I said that because I don't dislike her. We just don't mesh, right? Yeah. And she's not always the easiest person to work with the Housewives. But I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people. So I don't know.
But I mean, for someone who doesn't watch the show, I'm assuming that's what makes the show great.
But I think they're like done though.
If
they're
everyone
like
was super chill and accommodating, I don't think it'd be fun to watch.
No. So like you be careful what you wish for.
Like every episode, wow, you're just so sweet. Wow.
Well, they would always say, like the fans would always say about me, I'm super boring. And I'm like, that is such a compliment because they're saying I'm normal. But then I'm like, oh, where's my job security?
Well, there is,
Did you leave or was it like you left voluntarily?
Yeah.
But I mean, that cancer plot line, that was a great plot line. Yeah. She was the detective that figured out Brooks. You had the receipts. You had, research.
He didn't have cancer. He was faking cancer.
He was faking cancer.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
You found that?
Yeah. Well, there was questions in my head and then I sussed it out and I was right.
Yeah. Do you think Vicky knew?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
She was in on it.
Yeah.
Oh, she said.
What was the motive?
So that season she was pushing some kind of juice. So I think, now this is all purely speculation, but I think that had everything gone as planned, this juice might have like cured his cancer or something.
Oh. Also just money.
That's criminal. That's literally criminal.
That's what, well, so I struggled with it.
So that you think that they were developing this storyline that he was going to say, this is the reason why I'm.
So I don't think that Vicky necessarily started that storyline. I think she found out and she was like in deep and just like went along with it at that point. But yeah, I definitely think that happened. And my thing was, this guy is going to promote something to a national audience that isn't real. And I really struggled with that, with the it's ethics that go along with that.
Totally. Hell yeah. Good for you. I mean, that's fucked. If that is in fact the motive, think of all the people. I mean, again, knock on wood.
Stop their chemo for juice?
Well, not only stop, but like the false hope that could come with that. And people are literally going to try anything, right?
Yeah,
hear
of course.
A story. Oh my God, sickening.
I mean, that's one thing if juice cures you, but it's another thing when you have an investment in the company in the juice that cures you.
Yeah.
Well,
it kind of sounds like the FDA.
Good for you for
snap.
For sussing it out. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know
this
you
has
and
been
having
fun.
you on. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Meghan K Edmonds for now.
Maybe Meghan.
That's right.
Check back, see if we get it. And then obviously your new podcast.
Yes, the new podcast, Intimate Knowledge. You can find it on Instagram at Intimate Knowledge Podcast, and slide into the DMs for Intimate Knowledge and for me.
And for you.
Guys, single men.
Guys, but also
slide on.
Be creative. Be creative. Don't just say hi and weird, and don't tell Meghan you're going to save her.
I'm going to screenshot every last one and send it to you. And then we'll see what Nick has to say. Okay.
Just keep it simple. It's so weird, but I wish I could be there for you.
That is so weird.
Why don't you just buy me an ice cream or something?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really, really appreciate it. And
for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, you can check out all new conversations about sex and all the things the ladies are talking about. And be sure to come back and remind us from time to time.
I will.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Obviously, don't forget to send in your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K, for our Ask Nick episodes. And as always, thanks for listening. We'll see you on Monday.